Hey everybody, Kara Snyder here, and we are going to talk today very quickly about something that is very common among kids and maybe even you as an adult, and that is anxiety around storms. Yep, storm anxiety. I can remember when I was a kid and it would be nighttime and I would hear the thunder rattling our house, and I would just want to pull the covers over my head as fast as I could, kind of crawl up in a ball and just wait for it to be over. And I can remember my heart would be pounding and racing, and I would want to go and run to my mom and dad's bedroom because it sounded so scary. So maybe like me, your kids, your tweens, your children, even your teens, they get scared during thunderstorms during that time of the year, maybe it's spring or summer, and they hear about thunderstorms on their social media or on TV or on the radio while you're driving to school. Or they hear things from their friends talking about it, and they see us as adults watching. And you begin to see these little patterns of anxiety kind of building up in them. They're talking about their stomach hurting, or they're asking you a lot of questions about what you see and what is the weather saying and what is the weatherman saying and what should you do. And maybe they are starting to get really just kind of nervous and fidgety, the night before. All these things are some common symptoms of what they may experience with this anxiety around storms. And a lot of people, this can be debilitating for them. And so maybe you're asking as a parent, what can I do? How can I help my kids who are struggling with this, knowing, it's going to happen? These storms are going to happen around us. So, what are some things that we can do? And I actually discussed this in my new tween devotionals, Anxiety Elephants. This is it for tween girls, and Anxiety Elephants for tween boys. And these are 90-day devotionals for those 8 to 12-year-olds. And if you have the devotional, this is going to be day 64. But we talk about this. We talk about storm anxiety because we want to help our kids, help our tweens learn how to respond so they can be more prepared during weather. So it's not debilitating for them. So some things you can do. Have your children, your tweens, be a part of your plan for bad weather if and when it does come. Let them be a part of that process, a part of the conversation. Yes, it may be awkward, or maybe they might ask questions and you don't really know the answer to them, and that's okay. You can tell them that. You can be honest with them about that, because that's really taking the pressure off of them to think that they have to know all the answers. So we want them to be involved of that planning process. And a part of your plan, you need to know, what is a safe place for you? Where are you going to go if you don't have a basement, or a place within your home that is a weather place that you can go? So if you don't have that, where can you go? What is your plan? Do you have a neighbor that can go down the street? Do you have family that you can go to? Is there a storm shelter in your community? So you want that to be part of the plan. Are you going to you have the helmets that you need, and make sure everybody has shoes that they can wear? Do you need snacks? We always need snacks in our house when it comes to kids, so let them be involved in that. What snacks do you want to have? And then have them make sure that they have flashlights, and they can even kind of have some responsibility there, checking flashlights, making sure there are batteries, to give them that responsibility and help them to see that they're okay and they can handle this. So those are some things you can do. I would also encourage you and encourage them to not just engulf yourself in weather conversations 24/7, because sometimes there are those voices who like to push those weather information through a fear mongering tone. And we don't want that to fill their heads and their minds. So find those good weather people that you can trust and listen to, and just listen to it enough so that you are aware of what's going on, but don't allow it to consume you, and don't allow it to consume your children. So those things can be very helpful. And sometimes if the weather is not going to be bad enough where you have to leave and go somewhere, but it may be just enough where it wakes your kiddos up and they can't really go back to sleep. Well, maybe they have a sleeping bag in your room if they really can't go to sleep, or you have a sleeping bag in their room on those emergency type situations. And then they learn over time, they're building up that confidence muscle that they can face these storms, and they're going to be okay. They're going to be able to get through on the other side. And knowing that there's a plan, knowing that they've been a part of creating that plan and that preparing them is going to help their brain and their body kind of calm down and know it's okay. And if they do start feeling that rapid heart rate or where they can't really breathe really well, remind them to pause and to take some good deep breaths and to move their thoughts away from the what ifs and go back into what is the truth. What is our reality? Well, what is our reality is right now, at this moment, we're safe. What is also true, we have a plan. We have a plan in place. And another thing that is true is that we can pray and talk to God. If we feel scared, if we feel nervous, if we feel anxious, we can talk to Him about it. And the scripture that I shared on this day 64 was Matthew 8:26. And this is the ESV version. And He said to them, and that's Jesus. So Jesus said to them, He's talking to the disciples, "Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?" Then He rose and He rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. So we can remind ourselves that even Jesus faced the storm and He was able to calm it. So He can calm that storm that's raging in them with the anxiety. He can calm the storms around us and we can trust Him. And Jesus was in the boat with the disciples when the storm was happening. So He's with us when we are going through those storms, when those thunderstorms come through. But you know what? We can even take these conversations about storms with our kids and we can talk to them about the storms that they may face in life and how to know that when we go through those storms, when we go through those difficult times, we can turn to Jesus and know that we can trust Him and He's riding in that boat with us through the storm and He will get us to the other side. So I hope these are some helpful, quick tips for you if storm anxiety is something that you and your kids are talking about, your teens are talking about, and a couple of just quick little tips that you can use for those next storms that you might encounter. So if you want to keep up with me on Instagram and Facebook, you can follow me at Caris Snider. That's CarisSnider. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscriber button so you can keep up with other videos that I may be posting. And you can also subscribe to my website at Caris Snider, CarisSnider.com. And when you subscribe, you get lots of great freebies. You get some downloadable freebies from my adult version of Anxiety Elephants. You also get a 5-day devotional on what to do when you feel overwhelmed. There's some other freebies in there for you also. And I get a lot of information to my email family. So I call my email list my email family. So you get a lot of good information first. So I love to do that for you guys. If you're looking for a speaker, I am a speaker and I'm also a certified professional Christian life coach. So if that is something that you're looking for in your life, maybe you feel stuck and you want to move forward, you can also contact me through my website and I would love to connect with you and help you work through that process and move forward in all that God has for you. So thanks guys for listening. Make sure you also share this with any friends that you have who also have tweens that maybe feel a little anxious about thunderstorms, and these would be some helpful tips for them to apply to their family, to their own plans for when that bad weather comes, and just to their conversations with their kids. So thanks guys for joining. I'll talk to you soon.